Is anyone else like really missing football right now? Let me know in the poll above. Gotta love a poll. As you can see from the title, we're going to look at some of the stats from last season, but before we go into that, I've got an announcement to make. Now, I actually filmed this announcement last week at Dan's barbecue, but the announcement details changed a little bit, and a few things have happened which I need to address. But in the meantime, here is Dan burning his barbecue. Can we win this?
I didn't hear anything, but yeah.
Dan, I think your barbecue's on fire. Oh dear. Anyway, announcement time. There's a YouTube football tournament happening. It's hosted by Ball Street, sponsored by FanLeague, and there's been a few people talking.
I think if this is going to work, there's one team that I think have to be involved. My good friend Smiv from Palmer's FC. What's going on? Are you going to be involved? Are you playing? Make it happen. I'll get my people to call your people, to call Ball Street, to call FanLeague. We'll get back to you. Yeah, mate, just make it happen, all right?
Dan Cutting's Freestylers FC.
Alright, sick.
He called out Palmer's FC, but they've gone quiet, so we haven't heard from Palmer's FC yet.
I'm waiting to see, yeah.
So Mr. DC, Daniel Cutting has asked us to be in it. Ball Street have been saying that we've gone quiet about it. We're not hiding. We're not hiding at all. I've just been a little bit busy. I've been doing the dishes. But seriously though, Ball Street, how are you going to have a YouTube football tournament without the original YouTube football team? I mean, we were the first team to consistently upload videos onto this platform that people could follow the ups and downs of a Sunday League team. And since then, it's completely blown up. And wham bam, thank you ma'am, here's your tournament. So are you going to have us in it? That's the question I'm asking. Can we be in your tournament, and can we wipe the floor with every single team in it? To be fair, that latter question is probably for my players, and they'll do the talking on the pitch, I hope, and not on Twitter, because that's got us into trouble in the past. Anyway guys, you're probably thinking, who else is in this FanLeague Cup? Well, we're going to start off with Ball Street. They're the hosts of the tournament. A lot of the behind the scenes stuff is going to be on their channel, as well as their games as well. If we play a game, it will be on this channel. This is where it lives, so you'll be able to see that. Make sure you are subscribed, because a whole chunk of you aren't. I've got viewership, I've got stats and everything. There's like 45% of you aren't subscribed that are watching, so do us a favour. We're trying to go for a milestone at the moment to hit 200k, and also click that bell for notifications. So subscribe to us to see those games in the FanLeague Cup. So we've got Ball Street. The next team in the hat is my guilty pleasure. I often find myself watching these when Arsenal have a bad result. It is, of course, Arsenal Fan TV. Now, they've been doing some talking. Well, they've been talking to me, and they've told me that they've attracted over 700 applicants for their team, and a lot of them are ballers as well. So they could be the dark horse. We've all seen what happens when you've got a big platform and you can offer, you know, good footballers the chance to be on YouTube and be seen by thousands. So it should be an interesting one. Dark horse for me in this competition, Arsenal Fan TV. Another fan channel that's in the hat is, of course, Full Time Devils. I wouldn't mind seeing Arsenal Fan TV and Full Time Devils go head to head, but this is a draw. Quarters, semis, finals. We may meet them. Can we beat them? I'm fairly confident that we could, but they might have done something similar to Arsenal Fan TV, done some trials, got some attention from some good footballers, so you never know. You never know. Hi Adam, by the way. I've already mentioned my good friend Daniel Cutting. He's bringing his Freestylers FC, who can play. They've got some decent players in that squad, so again, they may be considered a team that could reach that final and lift that trophy at the end. Now, the next team in the hat is probably the biggest team in terms of viewership, of course. It is Creators FC, run by AJ3 Andy. Unfortunately, we haven't seen too much of them, so they're going to need to start getting the match practice in. They've already played Ball Street, lost out by the odd goal, I believe. But yeah, we'll give them a go. Can we beat them at this moment in time? I'm going to say yes, that is my prediction. But like I say, it's a draw. We might not even play them. We will see. Another team that are going to be in this tournament is Cheeky Sport FC. We all know Cheeky Sport are. They're good friends of ours. Joel, Dave, Akeem and the rest of the crew on the podcast as well. Can we beat these guys? Of course we can. I mean, I'm sorry guys, you know, we're good friends, but let's be real. I think we've got this, if we meet, that is. The thing with Cheeky Sport is they have a lot of contacts, so they might be able to draw in the services of some very talented footballers. We shall see, but at this moment in time, I think if we were drawn against them, I could see us beating them. Obviously, you've got us, Palmer's FC, the team that's been playing together for, this will be our 5th season, week in, week out consistently. And, you know, we've got to be considered one of the favourites to win this. But you don't know. You do not know what players are going to enter some of these teams. So we'll have to see. There is one more team that needs to be announced. I do not know who that is at the moment. So leave your suggestions below on who you think it should be, and maybe Ball Street can get in contact and make it happen. Now, obviously, Ball Street are going to be hosting this tournament. FanLeague are going to be sponsoring it. They've come together and given you guys a really cool opportunity to play in this tournament. Ball Street FC have got 3 available spaces, and to get in there, it's quite simple. All you got to do is subscribe to Ball Street and then register to FanLeague. It's as simple as that. Both of those links are in the description below. So what are you waiting for? Good luck. and I hope to see you guys there. So there you have it, that is our first announcement. I spoke to Ball Street and they have accepted us into the FanLeague Cup. Can't wait. We've got 2 more announcements over the course of the next few weeks, so be sure to keep an eye out on the channel for them, because it's exciting times for Palmers FC, believe me. So I think we can all agree that this season wasn't the best at all. I mean, we had a lot to live up to following the season before. You know, we won the league in exciting fashion, and then we won the cup earlier this season to create the double, of course. Here is how the league table finished, and unfortunately, we finished 4th. That's our worst ever position in the league since we started. We were 1st and 2nd in this league for quite some time, but obviously a lot of teams had games in hand over us. They caught up and they won those games, which means they leapfrogged us at the end, including Thames Gateway on the final day against Scruttons. They beat them and jumped into 3rd over us. What I'm going to do right now is show you our previous league finishes and compare this season to previous seasons. In the 2013-14 season, this was the one that we didn't film. We finished 3rd. We played 22, won 17, drew none, lost 5 and got 51 points. The next season after that, that was the first season that we actually filmed. That was the first season that you guys would have seen. And we played 22 once again, won 15, so we're 2 less than the season before, drew 3, lost 4 and then got 48 points, and that season we actually came 2nd, so a better position but less points. The season after that we got promoted once again, and this is obviously our best ever season. This is the one that we won, where we played 20, we won 13, so 2 less than the season before, but we did play 2 less, so that sort of works out. Drew 3, lost 4 and got 42 points. And then obviously this season, our worst ever season, we played 20 like the season before, we won 13 just like the season before, we drew 2 and we lost 1 more, so lost 5 rather than 4. So only 1 point less, but we finished 4th rather than 1st. I said it all season, it was a much tougher league, and the thing that we struggled with was goals, and we're going to look at some of the goals from previous seasons as well. Let's do that. In the 13-14 season, we scored 93, conceded 31 with a goal difference of 62. The 14-15 season was 84 goals and conceded 32. That's a goal difference of 52. In our double winning season, we scored 69, conceded 28, and had a goal difference of 41. But this season was the key, and this is what I want you to focus on here. We scored 40. That's 29 goals less than the season before. If we'd have got anywhere near that, I'm sure we would have come much higher in the table. But here's another thing to focus on, ready? Conceded 23. Now, if you look at our previous seasons, that is our best ever defensive display. So despite it being our worst ever season as a club, it was our best ever season defensively. It's kind of weird, mixed emotions. It's almost like the defenders and obviously our goalkeepers as well did brilliantly this year, but our forwards just weren't on the ball, I'm afraid. And maybe this is something that you need to take into account when you're voting for your player of the season, which is in the link in the description below. If you want to vote for your player of the year, you can do so now, or you can wait until the end of the video. Obviously, with the goals being so low, the stats that I'm about to give you are also going to be quite low. We're going to celebrate some of the assists and goal scorers. Going to start off with the assists. So we're going to do a top 5 for this, and grabbing 1 assist each, we had Sam, Shane and Graham. In 4th, getting 2 assists each, we had Kieran, Luke, Liam and Elliot. In 3rd, on his own, grabbing 3 assists for the season, is Connor. In 2nd, quite a few names getting 4 assists each. We had Jamie, Knowlesy, TOOGOOD and Nick. And then in 1st position, this is what absolutely baffles me, because he only turned up about 5 times. But in 1st place with the most assists, with 7 assists, is Mike. How's that even work? I genuinely don't know how that works. I'm pretty sure I can count on one hand how many times he actually played for us last season. So maybe we don't need to blame our season on the strikers, maybe just one in particular, Mike. Blame Mike. We're now going to finish this video off by looking at the top 5 goal scorers. And in 5th position was Luke. He grabbed 4 this season. That was an improvement for him. He grabbed 2 the season before, so he's done all right. In 4th place, we had TOOGOOD. He grabbed himself 7 goals, but that's a lot less than the season before when he grabbed himself 21. It's the same issue for 3rd place, KIERAN. He grabbed himself 9 goals, but the season before, 23 from midfield. In 2nd place, with double figures, it was Connor with 10. He grabbed 13 the season before, so there or thereabouts. He's not always been an out-and-out goal scorer. He usually creates them as well. Finally, winning that golden boot like he has for the previous 3 seasons, it is of course Nick, aka Magic Boots, but didn't score as many as we thought this season. Only 14 for him. Last season he managed to grab 27. He almost slashed his goal tally in half. So there you have it, a few stats for you. We're definitely going to be strengthening ahead of next season. We've got a couple more announcements, so stay subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're approaching 200k. It'd be great to sort of hit that going into the new season. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Ball Street, register to FanLeague as well. Links are in the description, and you'll be in the hat to potentially grab a place for Ball Street FC and play against us or meet us at this tournament coming up. But until then, that is it for this one. Lots coming up. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and be sure to check out all the other football content on this channel. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.